Castlevania series stretches back almost 30 years, with a huge number of titles having been released over that time. As a whole, it is considered a classic and is widely held as one of the parents of the Metroidvania subgenre of adventure games. But time brings change. Although the series was a veritable powerhouse in the 2D era, the transition to 3D was not that kind, slowly diluting the name and sinking it ever closer to an ignoble grave. 3 years ago, a new vision in the vaunted Castlevania series was presented to the world. Lords of Shadow offered a rethink of many traditional elements and the best reception for a non-portable Castlevania since 1997's Symphony of the Night. There was a wider range of enemies to fight than the typical vampires and werewolves. However, the whip, which acts as both a weapon and an augmentation to traversal, was firmly in place along with the gothic atmosphere and the presence of hidden collectibles. For Lords of the Shadow 2, the game's engine has been completely redesigned, which allows for a number of new features to be introduced. Key among these is a more open world to allow for a less linear experience, as well as complete control over the game's camera. Similarly, the combat system has been redesigned with 2 sub-weapons replacing the magic system. In spite of these changes, it is clear the development team is not overly fond of the idea of messing with a winning formula. The core structure of the game as an action-adventure title remains largely unchanged. In Castlevania Lord of the Shadow, the origin of Dracula and his legendary connection with the Belmonts was revealed. In Castlevania Lords of the Shadow 2, fans can expect thrilling new twists and challenges. In this shocking conclusion to Lords of the Shadow saga, Dracula returns once again, weakened and yearning for release from his immortal bonds. Facing a new and powerful threat, the Vampire Lord must reacquire his old powers, and only his castle holds the key. However, the famed Belmont clan also seek his ultimate destruction. Players will still be challenged with puzzles and platforming segments along with battles, which means that pacing and balance should not be too much of an issue. It has been stated that this is not a true open world. Rather, the map opens up over time while previously unlocked areas can be returned to at will. This makes it likely that it will adopt a dungeon mentality at certain points to funnel players into these events. The core abilities and weapons are introduced in the initial sequence before being stripped away in a trope that feels increasingly tired. It is explained here by Gabriel having slept for 1,000 years before being reawakened to combat a new threat. As worn out as the concept is, the quest to regain his powers should prove to be a lengthy and satisfying one, with the developers stating that Lord of the Shadows 2 will be a longer game than its predecessor, which for many clocked in at around or in excess of 20 hours. Here's hoping that Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 can deliver on all that is promised and bring us a truly great experience. For more information, be sure to check out onlysp.com. Take care, folks.
I am no longer Gabriel, woman. I am the dragon, Dracul. I am the Prince of Darkness.